Mhm. 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 Yeah. So actually, my work experience in Citrix is about 8 years. But most of my work experiences um, are from Philippines. This is just I'm going 3 years here in Australia. But although my most of my experiences are from Manila, but most of my jobs were in a global company. So since around 2006, I've worked on global companies. So I'm used to working with different individuals from different locations and cultures. The most current one that I'm connected with is an MSP company, which is based in Melbourne. So I'm part of infrastructure team, um, systems infrastructure, and there are two main teams, which is ISC systems engineer and Citrix. So I'm part of Citrix operations and support. So primarily we're doing level three BAU activities. That includes those tickets that are escalated to our team, and also we manage service request, which involves like managing our clients, which has Citrix PVS. So whenever we have, let's say, application updates, the monthly patching, those which has Citrix PVS environment, we're the one who manage it. Also, as part of level three Citrix operations and support. So it's an MSP company. So we're managing, I would say, small to medium clients. We're about we're handling about 20, and but some are small, and there are some clients which are medium environments. In the Citrix space, we're three engineers overall, and yeah, we're also using ServiceNow as our ticketing system. Although for the most part, we're using Jira, but now we just migrated to ServiceNow this year. So I'm very familiar with ServiceNow since I've used ServiceNow as well with from my previous work in other companies. So yeah, I would say primarily we're handling level three incidents and service requests. Um, Although um, we're also dealing with other small projects, like let's say, for example, there's a need for a UAT environment. So with this small projects, it's assigned to us as well. And yeah, also from time to time, although my primary role is into Citrix operations and support. I'm also getting assigned some other systems related issues. So yeah, that's my current role right now as a Citrix engineer in an MSP company. But uh, prior to my current role right now, actually my background is yeah, I'm a graduate of I started outside the IT field. I'm a graduate of psychology, but yeah, I only worked for about 4 years, so which is related to my course in college. But after that, I moved to IT industry. Prior to my current role right now, I'm part of was part of a it's not BPO, but we're project based. Um, um, there are some companies globally who outsource their IT. So I'm also part of the Citrix operations and support. But from my previous company, um, I wouldn't say it's an MSP because we're just specific to one project. So we manage the environment of one project, meaning it's one company. So on my previous company, the most recent project that I've managed was Ample, Caltex, Australia, based in Sydney, which is now Ample. So it's relatively small to medium Citrix environment as well, with around 200 users. And yeah, prior to that project, I've also managed a project which is based in Germany. So it's also a Citrix environment. That one is a medium-sized environment which is around 1,500 users. So yeah, I think that's my background. Mostly prior to my last two roles, I was a level two VDI support engineer in a financial institution as well. And yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, so um, we're project based on that company, meaning we're managing those companies who outsource their IT infrastructure. If if Accenture gets the deal, yeah, we're deployed to that company. But primarily, we're remote based. So in my previous company, I was assigned to at least three projects, and the most recent one was the Ample project. The Blue Apache is the MSP company which I'm connected right now. Mhm. Yeah, currently I'm working full time work from home, but if it's around 40%, I'm open to that option. No. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. 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 2 hours during a standard time. Yeah, I follow Melbourne business hours. Yeah, I'm used to. Yeah, I'm used to following Melbourne business hours. So I normally start at 6:30 to around 3. Um, yeah, I would prefer regular business hours, but if in case the role would require to follow another time zone, yeah, I'm open to that. Mhm. Yeah, I just have a very brief check on Insignia. And yeah, I came to know that it's one of the top financial institution in Australia. And yeah, and as soon as I look at the background of Insignia, I would say that yeah, I'm very interested to be part of the company. Previously, I worked also in a financial institution in Manila. I worked there for 5 years, and I know for a fact that financial institutions like Insignia has a good working culture, and they take care of their employees, and yeah, overall, it's a positive environment in a financial institution. So, mhm. Yeah, I would say that obviously I'm not young, but I would say that I would describe myself that yeah. So yeah, I would say that I would describe myself like in a like in a basketball team. I'm not often the best in a basketball team. I'm not often the MVP, but I would say I'm the most through the years, through the experience that I've gained. I offer consistency. So I would say in a basketball team, I would describe myself as the best six man. I may not be the best often technically, but yeah, I know how to adapt with the different cultures. I know how to, in terms of camaraderie, I'm easy to deal with. I'm very adaptable, and yeah, I would say yeah, consistency. No. Okay. Yeah. I would say that especially in IT, there are times that an IT work can be really demanding, and yeah, I would say that yeah, through the years of my work experience, I would say that I often think of what the customer would feel, because sometimes we would say that we might think that it's just a very simple problem that they're facing, but you wouldn't know that although how simple is it, sometimes that becomes a showstopper on the client's side. So I would say that yeah, I'm often pro client, and I would say that through the years, I've learned how to value my work, and I often go for always delighting the customer, always providing good service. Because I would say that IT issues, resolving IT issues, is such a integral part of every company, of every employee, and resolving um, client issues would go miles. Yeah. Yeah, I've mentioned this to the recruiter. Yeah, so far I'm happy with my current company. This November, I'll be turning 3 years. I'm not actually actively looking, but since this is just my third year in Australia, I would say that yeah, I'm open to other opportunities. Um, Maybe I'm open to experiencing other cultures outside my current work, especially if it's a stable company with good working culture. I would say that I'm very open to that option. Yeah, for my typical day, so primarily I'm a level three Citrix engineer. So we manage BAU tickets, incidents, and service requests. So on a typical day, we would look into our ticketing system, which is ServiceNow right now. Previously, we're using Snow. But since we're the third level, so we only manage tickets which came through our service desk. So those issues that are persistent, those are the things that we're managing. So aside from usual typical incidents, since as part of the level 3 team, we're also managing yeah, problem tickets, those tickets which are consistently happening, repetitive. So we manage those issues. Now, aside from incidents, yeah, uh, we manage service requests, such as let's say there's an update with an application for a certain environment. We're the one managing the monthly patching of our environments. Those We have a few clients which use Citrix PVS, so we're the one managing the monthly patching and updates of those environments. We're also the one managing the certificates renewal whenever we have SSL certificates which are about to expire. We're the one yeah, managing the licenses of our clients, since we have different clients. We're the one who check and let's say whenever we need to renew the license of the virtual apps and desktops, we're the one managing it. We also do um, a monthly check of some critical vulnerabilities in our environment, such as in virtual apps and desktops, and also um, CVEs for our NetScaler. So we look into that. So we have certain a monthly task to review critical vulnerabilities in the NetScaler. And once we found certain CVEs with a very high score, we're also the one managing, we're updating the firmwares of our NetScaler of our clients. And yeah, aside from the typical managing incidents and service requests, yeah, we're also, yeah, from time to time on a quarterly basis, we are also required to create knowledge base articles for for the benefit of our team, not just for our team, but for the entire IT infrastructure. So yeah, that's my typical day, primarily attending to incidents, service requests, and yeah. Um, yeah, because we're not the frontliners, so I would say yeah, typical day around the three incidents, and there are most often around three service requests as well. So aside from those typical incidents and service requests that we manage, we're also managing the backlogs. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Mhm. Okay. So yeah, currently with our with my current role right now, so we're managing small to medium environments. Although we have around close to 20 clients, but approximately um, we only have around three or four clients with PVS, and I would say these are small to medium clients. Um, for each client which has PVS, we have only one um, golden image, which we use for both. We have a separate UAT delivery group for each client, and we're using versioning for these clients. So yeah, our environments, we have only one delivery group because it's small to medium. We have around 25 each VDA for this environment with one golden image. We're using one golden image, and then we have only one monthly patching cycle. Yeah, but previously. Mhm. And but previously, when I was working at Citibank, we have a relatively bigger environment with different golden images. So yeah, I think I'm able to visualize what you're describing. So in a team, this golden images are distributed among ourselves, and yeah, as far as I remember, I was able to manage one of those golden images. I would say since I'm also working on a previous environment right now, I would say that I'm confident that I'll be able to manage if ever I get assigned. Yeah. Actually, yeah, mostly with my current role right now. So mostly we're managing BAU activities, incident and service request. But yeah, for from time to time, we're given mini projects. What I would say is um, I was happy with my experience moving one of our Citrix clients from using Microsoft roaming profile, and I move it to FS Logics as profile management. So it's just a very simple one because it's a small environment. But um, since I'm also at the start, I'm also not familiar with FS Logics. But I would say, yeah, I was happy because I researched on the process, and I've learned a lot on that migration project, which is moving the current profile management to FS Logics. And yeah, what I've learned on that mini project that I've managed is yeah, sometimes I've realized that you wouldn't know everything, but yeah, sometimes you just need to uh, do simple research, ask the right questions, and yeah, eventually you'll be able to learn everything. Mhm. 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 I think I've used it. Yeah, I've used it previously on a previous, so I'm not very familiar with that. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. So actually, with that error message, even there's a specific error, but in a Citrix environment, there are actually a lot of possible costs. So yeah, I would say that that error is mostly a genetic one. So it's really a process of elimination. So, but with that one, maybe the most basic thing that I have to do is ask the client. I'll try to check first if I'm able to replicate it using the test account. Because with that one, let's say for example, if I have a test account and I'm able to replicate the issue, so that would mean that something else must be going on. If in case, let's say for example, if I'm not able to replicate the issue, um, and I can probably ask the client if is there a colleague who's able to experience the same issue, and let's say for example if I was able to identify that I'm not able to replicate the issue, a colleague is not experiencing the problem, so it might be user specific. Could be I would say it could be an issue with Citrix Workspace app, or it could be something related to profile. Now, let's say on the other hand, if let's say if I'm able to replicate the issue, and I've proven that multiple users are experiencing the same problem. That would mean that there's a wider issue in the environment. Yeah, probably I'll try to check first if um, the most common thing that I have to check is look into the environment. I can use probably um, main tools like Director to look into a quick overview on the background if there are failed connection, failed servers. Probably I'll look into Studio initially to check if there are if the VDAs are registered, um, or let's say if there are available desktops that are registered and not on maintenance mode. Things like that. So so it's a process of elimination. There could be a lot of issues, especially if it's a if there are multiple users that are unable to connect. If those basic isolation steps are all looking positive, there could be a lot more like network environment to consider, and but I would say in issues like that, I would look into the basic steps first. So as part of as part of L3 support, so we have full admin rights. And in our environment, mostly are on premise, but we have a few clients also which are using Citrix Cloud. So I'm both familiar navigating with on-premise studio and the one in cloud. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. So, so if let's say the entire delivery group is unregistered, um, so because if it will be a different story if there's a pool of VDAs and there's only let's say one that is unregistered. It might just be an issue with the Citrix desktop service. But if the entire VDA are unregistered, yeah, first of all, I would check if what's the last changes. So especially if it's an issue with if it's using Citrix provisioning service, so I would check what are the recent changes. Probably as a quick let's say as a quick troubleshooting. Probably I'll try to restart one of the VDA and test it with a previous disk that was used, just for me to isolate quickly if it was an issue with the current disk that was used. Now, but if it's multiple, um, yeah, I would also still check check if this um, if let's say if it's using Citrix PVS, what's the status of I would individually check the VDAs if what's the status if it's put uh, if it successfully booted into network things like that. I would check on the hypervisor itself on the hypervisor level. Check what's the status. Yeah, probably I'll check if basic things like if are these VDAs are getting IP address, things like that. So yeah, probably for now, yeah, I'll check on those things first. Mhm. I would say so. What I'm imagining, let's say if this certain request comes through. So basically, let's say you mentioned you're using PVS or a golden image. If I'll be walking you through on the initial steps that needs to be done on a high level. So yeah, probably yeah. So if it's a PVS environment, if you're using versioning, normally I'll start with the main Citrix PVS server, open PVS console, go to disk, and then create I identify um, disk, PVS disk, where it needs to be deployed to create a maintenance version, and then on the collections, I need to go to the master machine, the golden image, and then ensure that the boot type of this machine is set to maintenance so that it will be on read only, and then I'll go to the hypervisor, power on this golden image, so it would boot to the maintenance disk. That means it will become read and write mode. And yeah, I'll check into um, what is the deployment method that is being used to deploy this application. Then eventually, let's say if I've heard you're using SCCM, so I'll trigger the installation through SCCM. Once everything is good, couple of reboots, self-testing of the app. I'll seal the image, and then promote this to test, so that it will be on read-only mode and ready for UAT. And I'll go to the studio. If it's a published application, I'll add an application, and then if this is required for a certain group, I'll check the if there's already a created a security group for this certain users. Let's say from finance and accounting. If there's none, I have to create an AD security group, and then add the users in here. And in Studio, I have to restrict the access of this application to this AD group, and yeah, publish it. And then from there, you can perform UAT. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. So I would say so. I'm not very strong in NetScaler, but through the years, yeah, the things that I'm familiar with is yeah, setting up a secondary node for high availability, ensuring that yeah, HA is on. Also, form our typical work with my typical work with NetScaler is updating the firmware, um, also upgrading renewing the Citrix license, I'm also familiar with, yeah, of course, collecting logs for, let's say, for vendor troubleshooting. Also, checking authentication issues. So I'm familiar with that, and also with renewing SSL certificates. So yeah, I'm not that very strong in NetScaler, but those basic stuff are my frequent activities with NetScaler. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, already heard about the team composition. I would say that um, what are the typical users of the Citrix environment? Are this the financial advisors, and are they primarily in Australia, or what are the users? Mhm, mhm. Okay. Mhm. Okay. And that's through Citrix. Okay. Oh. Mhm. 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 Okay. Mhm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, just curious to ask. The office in Perth, there's also IT folks in that office. Okay. Mhm. So, Insignia's IT people are all in-house IT. Okay, awesome. Okay. Mhm. Okay, I see. Okay, I see. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I'm looking forward for the role. Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Nice. Matt. They call me Matt. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for your time. Thanks as well. Okay. Yeah. See ya. Bye.